Hello everyone, welcome to this week's edition of Telegraph Herald More Than the Score. I'm your host Steve Ortman. Alongside me this week, again, yes ladies and gentlemen, again, the one and only Tim O'Neill.
Popular demand, what can I say? People like me.
Yeah, you know who else is well liked around here? Our producer Paul is back. And from what I understand, I'm not going to sound like I'm on a public access show this week. My audio's been corrected, it's fixed, and we should be good to go. No worries.
I would never watch you on a public access show. That would be awful.
You're one of not many that wouldn't watch me. I'm just bringing in the numbers like a crazy person here. So anyways, let's get right to it. Once again, we've got Tim O'Neill and we have got prep softball. Huge city showdown this week as the Dubuque Hempstead Mustangs rule the city for a third straight year.
Yeah, really the Hempstead Mustangs were kind of expected by many to be a really strong team this year, and they've backed it up in city play, sweeping their way through for the third straight year. 4 years ago, the Mustangs split the title with Senior, but this time, they got a chance to battle it out on a neutral field. They played at the DGIL complex, and Hempstead used a couple of 6 innings in both games to turn what was a tight game in each contest into kind of a runaway. It wasn't really a blowout or anything like that. It was just the 1 inning in each game where Hempstead was able to string together a bunch of hits and was able to put it away. So congratulations to the Mustangs for once again city title and a couple of wins over Senior.
Yep, a couple of close games, but like you mentioned, 6th inning for Hempstead, huge in both games, able to create that distance. What stood out to you about those innings that allowed the Mustangs to kind of make those runs?
Well, it was just a matter of stringing together the hits. And talking to senior coach Jeff Brandel after the game, he said, it wasn't really anything the Rams did wrong. It was just, at some point, a team like Hempstead's going to start, those hits are going to start dropping in. And for the first few innings of each game, they weren't. Talking to Coach Alicia Freeze, it was a matter of, sometimes early in these games, the nerves are there. It was a very big crowd at the DGIL complex, and so the first couple innings of each game they were kind of getting ahead of things, getting ahead of the pitch. They weren't waiting back, and eventually they got the timing down and started hitting the ball, and it just so happened to be 6 runs in the 6th inning each time.
Now, of course, city softball fans saw a couple of good ball games, but also the teams were playing for a good cause.
Yeah, Kaylee and Jenna Springer both play for the Hempstead softball team. And their father, Ben Springer, was recently diagnosed with non-Hodgkin's lymphoma. So both of these teams, they got together. They had originally planned to play the game at the DGIL complex. It was DGIL night, and all of the current DGIL players who wore their jerseys got in free, and just a chance to showcase city softball and the roots it came from, because a lot of these players played for the DGIL. But then after Ben Springer's diagnosis, Hempstead coach Alicia Freeze approached Jeff Brandel about maybe incorporating this into it, and so they sold T-shirts. They raised a lot of money. They gave some of the money to the Springer family to use for some of their travel expenses, other things, and then the rest of the money that they gathered at the game was donated to non-Hodgkin's lymphoma research. So, hopefully that'll do some good, and they can help find a cure. So after the game, I caught up with Kaylee and Jenna Springer and asked them a little bit about what it meant to them, and here's what they had to say.
Just congratulations on the sweep, and tell me a little bit about this game, because the community was coming together to celebrate the DGIL and support your family. Just tell me a little bit about what does that mean for you guys to have the community come together in this manner and support you guys.
It means a lot. We had a really great turnout, and we raised a lot of money tonight, so that means so much to our family, and it's really good for softball too to get everybody
and
in
just
the community here.
Showing the little kids that they can dream big, and they could be where we're at one day, and it just makes you appreciate everything.
Now, from what I understand, you both played for the DGIL, now playing for the Hempstead Mustangs. So what's it like kind of coming back to your home field and playing here for the varsity team?
It was really fun. We've played hundreds of games here, so it just feels like a home game to us.
Yeah, it was just kind of where we grew up, and like you kind of fall in love with the game doing DGIL. So it's like a big influence. So it's fun to get to come back.
All right, now both games were pretty tight until the 6th inning. You guys got 6 runs in each inning of each game, or in the 6th inning of each game, excuse me. What changed in those innings to allow you guys to start putting the game away?
I think we finally just adjusted to the pitching and got mad and wanted to hit the ball.
Yeah.
So
It's always like a good game with seniors since it's like inner city. So just finally opening it up really helped us.
All right, now you guys play senior again in the regional semifinal. Just how do you guys build on this through the rest of the regular season and then into regionals?
Well, now we've like seen their pitching and their pitchers and like how they hit. So it kind of helps that we played them already and like we know that we're gonna play them, so we can prepare more.
And you can just like make adjustments, and like just focusing on winning each pitch is really what helps us stay like calm in big games.
Yeah, absolutely good cause there. And Hempstead Senior, this was not the last time they're going to see each other. They're going to be seeing each other in regionals as well.
Yeah, they'll play a week from Saturday at Hempstead. Hempstead will be hosting the regional semifinal, 5:30 p.m. Winner will take on, many people expect it to be Cedar Rapids Jefferson on the other side of the bracket, but we'll see. The winner of that game goes to the state tournament. The winner of the regional semifinal and then the regional final goes to state. So should be a good game, and hopefully just as big a crowd Saturday as there was on Tuesday night.
Yeah, and lots going on here. I know it's summertime, but we're still staying busy. Alex Erickson, Darlington High School grad, went on to play for the Badgers, made it in the NFL with the Cincinnati Bengals. He was back in the area in his hometown here this past week to hold a football camp.
Yeah, Wednesday and Thursday, a little 2-day camp for some of the younger kids in Darlington and the area. He opened it up to not just the Darlington kids, but some of the other kids. And all of the money from the camp went to the Darlington Touchdown Club, which supports the football team there, the Redbirds. So obviously nice for a guy who's made it big to come back. And boy, when he was done, he was surrounded by all these little kids, a bunch of Erickson Bengals jerseys and Badger shirts, and signing autographs, and clearly, he's got the celebrity status in his hometown. But nice for him to come back and give back, and just a great experience for all those young kids to learn from a guy that not only they watch play for the Wisconsin Badgers, but also now the Cincinnati Bengals. I asked him about his first year in the NFL quick, and here's what he had to say.
Yeah, for sure. It was a great experience. I learned a lot. Going into year 2, I'm really excited about the progress I've made as a player, and hopefully just be able to carry that over and have a good second year.
So Erickson will get another chance to play a game in the NFL in the state of Wisconsin. Him and the Bengals will visit the Green Bay Packers September 24th at Lambeau Field, so fans from the area will get a chance to go up there and see him in action, playing against who I'm sure many people root for, the Green Bay Packers. So it'll be a little interesting dynamic there for those fans.
Wait a second. How did you come up with this idea that many people in Wisconsin root for the Green Bay Packers? How'd you put that together?
I mean, I was in Darlington, and it seemed like Bengals country. And then you go outside and it's like, no, this is Wisconsin, it's Packer country. But for a little bit there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Genius.
Smart.
Well, that's going to do it for this week's episode of Telegraph Herald. More Than the Score. I am your host, Steve Ortman. For Tim O'Neill, who I'm sure many will hope is not on next week.
Vote for me.
We will see you next week. You stay good looking, Dubuque.